Hello and welcome to a slightly different type of video than normal. That's right, in front of you, you are seeing a tier list of how I think I would fight against every single Pokemon. This is just going to be Gen 1. If this is something that you seem to enjoy, please go ahead, like, comment on the video so I know to do more on Gen 2. I know I'm saying that very early, but that's because it is important for me to know if this is worth the effort. But we are going to be going through and saying how I would do against every single Pokemon. An alternative name for this could very well be how I would lose to every single Pokemon, depending on how this tier list ends up. Because I am a firm advocate that Pokemon are way stronger than humans, and I do think that pretty much every single Pokemon in this list has a way of taking me out, and I will be going ahead and putting myself in the worst situations against these Pokemon to kind of show how the Pokemon shine. This is kind of inspired by the fact that me and a friend were talking about the whole all Pokemon versus 10 billion lions debate, and I was firmly on the side of Pokemon for literally every single case of a Pokemon being able to take out a lion. So we will see how this tier list goes. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. First up, with good old little Bulbasaur. First of all, I love Bulbasaur. I would never want to harm a Bulbasaur, but let's say I'm stuck in a fight against a Bulbasaur. I am pretty sure that Bulbasaur will easily defeat me. And my reasoning for this, despite its cute looks, is that Bulbasaur is a killer, right? Bulbasaur, Poison Powder. What am I going to do against that? I'm poisoned, I'm crippled, I'm done. Stun Spore. I'm paralyzed, I'm crippled, I'm done, right? Sleep Powder. I'm put to sleep, which would be nice. It would be nice to have a little relaxing snooze, but I'm asleep. It can pick me up with Vine Whip, chuck me off a cliff, I'm done. Let's say that it misses with one of those powder moves. It can still barrage me with Razor Leaf while I'm trying to run up to it. Those leaves are going to cut into my skin. It's going to hurt. I'm going to be disoriented. And then it's going to go ahead and land a Solar Beam on me and tear straight through me. Right? Bulbasaur is winning. It's not going to be a close fight in any world. I am confident that Bulbasaur wins. Ivysaur, pretty much the exact same situation. Right? Ivysaur is going to go ahead. It's going to do the same thing that Bulbasaur does, but with a little bit more tankiness behind it, and that's going to be that. Venusaur, on the other hand, Venusaur, I think I actually stand no chance in any universe. I don't know how I damage the giant frog dinosaur of the world. It's going to just slap me around with Vine Whip, and it's not going to be a close fight. I'm not going to get close to this Pokemon to even land a punch, and even if I do, it would probably just bite into my hand, right? It's not going to be a close fight. I'm never going to stand a chance against a Venusaur. Charmander, I think, would be a lot closer than the Bulbasaur line. I do think that Charmander is weaker than Bulbasaur, right? I know there's some favoritism happening right here, but Charmander, I do think at the end of the day, small little guy. The ranged aspect of a Charmander is Flamethrower and Ember and moves like that, which, don't get me wrong, being burnt alive, yeah, this thing is probably going to win. I'm pretty confident that Charmander is going to win a fight against me. I think it would be a lot closer. I feel like it'd be harder to lose to a Charmander. There'd probably be like an actual punch landed on this thing, maybe. Or, to be honest, when I get close, it might just Metal Claw my neck, and that would be that. So, actually, I still think I'd probably lose, but I think it's closer. Charmeleon I don't think is close. It's not the easiest win in the world. I think it could come down to, like, me being, like, half burnt and punching it. But at the end of the day, it's winning, right? I don't think it's close. And with the next up being Charizard, I don't think I stand any chance against a Charizard, right? I'm pretty sure that there is no universe where I win. Charizard, at the end of the day, giant fire dragon versus me. I say giant. Charizard's like 5'7". I'm actually bigger than a Charizard, but still, it can fly way higher than I can reach it with anything. Unless there's a world where I'm like crafting a throwable spear to pierce its wing in the middle of this situation, I'm not going to be damaging a Charizard before it absolutely burns me to a crisp. I don't think there's any universe where I am going to be fighting a Charizard and winning. Squirtle is much more interesting. Squirtle, I think there's a realm where I could win against a Squirtle. There is, but I do think I would lose, because ultimately, when I think of myself in a situation against a Squirtle, I imagine Squirtle tucking its head into its shell, right? It's got that ultimate defense set up. What am I going to do against the shell? Am I going to punch it? I'm just going to hurt my hand. I'm not getting through the Squirtle. It's going to be able to tuck its head inside its shell, still blast water out me at high pressure, and that water is going to hurt. I don't think I'm going to win the battle of attrition against a Squirtle. I just don't. I think the water has incredible knockback. I'm thinking to like scenes of the anime. Wartortle, I think, is the exact same Pokemon as Squirtle, I will be honest. There's some favoritism leaning towards the Bulbasaur line right now, but that's mostly because of poison. I think a lot of poison types in this list are going to be way higher than they realistically should be if they can learn Poison Powder, because I do think the poison would cripple most humans. Blastoise, on the other hand, Blastoise is obliterating me, right? That's just... I'm not denting a Blastoise. It's just not happening. Even if I punch it in the face, right? It's gonna bite my hand. I'm probably gonna lose my hand. The Hydro Pump cannons aren't gonna let me get close in this fight. It's just got so much firepower. There's no way. Caterpie. Alright. This is where the tier list is gonna be a little bit silly, and it's where the aspect of this is gonna be me saying I can lose to every Pokemon is gonna take over a little bit more. Because let's be real, I think I can fight a Caterpie, right? But that's not funny, and this tier list is here to be funny. So instead, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I can lose to a Caterpie. I think the Pokemon will win. I think it would be hard to lose, but hear me out, right? We're in a situation, we're in a battle arena, I'm fighting this Caterpie. Caterpie is on the side of a tree, right? It fires a string shot at me. What does the string shot do? It wraps me up. I'm mummified. I can't damage it anymore. Am I gonna break out with the string shot? Maybe, but it can just reapply it, right, from a distance. And then I lose the battle of attrition because I can't damage the Caterpie. At the end of the day, unless I forfeit against the Caterpie, I'm gonna starve to death. That's not winning a fight. That's losing a fight. I lose to the Caterpie. In fact, I'm even putting it in not close. I don't think it's close. I don't think I have any way of damaging the Caterpie. Let me make this clear. Don't take this tier list too seriously, anyone. This is not a serious tier list. Metapod. Honestly, I feel like this is a stalemate situation. I feel like this is the first time when I will say tie. I'm gonna say that Metapod hardens. I'm gonna say it's very tough to lose to a Metapod. However, Metapod's still in its moveset. If it's evolved from a Caterpie, alright, if this is like a trainer's Metapod, it can still have String Shot. In which case, the exact same situation from Caterpie would happen. But with more defense, because it can harden while I'm trying to break free of the String Shot. But I will say, if this is a Metapod that only has harden, I'm gonna say it's a tie. Because I don't think anyone wins, I think it's a stalemate. Another word for tie in this situation, in this tier list, let me make this clear now, is just gonna be stalemate. So I do think that Metapod is a tie. I don't think I will win handily, because I don't know if I can break through it, alright? We'll see. We'll see. At the moment, why am I saying we'll see? It's like I'm gonna fight the Metapod now? No, we're not gonna see. Why am I saying that? That's where it's going. Butterfree, I think, is an easy win. I think Butterfree wins easily just because Flight, Poison Powder, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, again, all of those sorts of moves pretty much just handily make it easy to win. It's not going into the no universe category because it is a butterfly at the end of the day, and you can definitely like rip a butterfly's wing off and win if I can get close enough and it misses all of its powder moves over and over again. So I'm gonna say it's probably an easy win, but there's a universe where I win. Weedle, I think we both die. I think Weedle poisons me, and I get poisoned and get crippled by that and eventually die, but I will destroy the Weedle before it's over. I will say that is a both die situation, unlike a stalemate situation from Metapod. Kakuna, honestly, the same as Metapod. Exact same thing. Like, it might have Poison Sting if it's like a trainer's Kakuna that I'm fighting, in which case, yep, we're both gonna die. In fact, in which case, Kakuna might just win, but acting under the assumption that it only has Harden, like a wild level 7 Kakuna, then sure, it would be a tie, and I don't think I'd break through it. Beedrill, I don't think is close. I don't think it's as powerful as Butterfree, but at the end of the day, giant poison needle straight into me is horrifying. Also, giant 4-foot bee. Have you seen how people react to a normal bee? Imagine a 4-foot bee coming at you with giant needles for arms. Like, that's a fear factor in itself. I don't think that's close. Pidgey at the end of the day is a pigeon, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never managed to land a punch on a pigeon, so I feel like Pidgey probably wins with, you know, ranged attacks like Air Slash and Gust and stuff. And it also has Pocket Sand, and Pocket Sand If that gets you in the eyes, your accuracy is even lowered even further. Like, I could see Pocket Sand of Sand Attack, the ability to fly, and having actually ranged special attacks, meaning that it is going to be a Pidgey win. But again, kind of like what I said with Butterfree, if I can land my hand onto a Pidgey, I do think that that's when it becomes a fight that I could win. I just don't see it happening, though. Pidgeotto is just bigger Pidgey. It's not close. Same with Pidgeot. I feel like both of these, just not close. You know, they've got ranged special attacks. I'm not going to be able to reach them in a fight. All flying Pokemon just have an inherent advantage. Unless the fight is like, hey, I get, you know, prep time to, like, craft a spear or bring a weapon of my choosing, then all flying types are pretty easily going to have a very nice time against me, and I don't think any of their fights are going to be close. I'm going into this under the assumption that I am fighting just as me, right? Just with my hands. So that's kind of where I'm at on this tier list. Rattata's got a very interesting strategy for me, right? Here it is. Rattata, we're brawling, alright? I hit the rat. The rat loses a ton of its HP. It goes down to maybe this Rattata is at like 4 HP, okay? Because I kick it, right? I kick the rat. Bam. It's looking great for me. The Rattata uses Endeavor. The Rattata uses Quick Attack. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. The Rattata wins. I don't think it's close. I think the Rattata is going to use a Fear Set on me without the Focus Sash. It's just going to Endeavor Quick Attack me. I think the Rattata wins. Raticate, I'm going to be honest, this thing is chomping through my arm, maybe my intestines as well, with those giant gnarly teeth. I'm not winning that. That's a Raticate win easily. Spearow is going in the exact same tier as Pidgey. I would say it's probably a little bit weaker than Pidgey, but at the end of the day, it has Flight, right? That's always going to be a massive advantage. It doesn't have as many ranged attacks as Pidgey, but I could still see it using Flight to its advantage. I think it still probably wins, but again, I feel like I'm putting a lot of these Pokemon into a tier maybe above where they should be. Fearow is going in the same place as good old Pidgeot. I feel like they're probably similar, plus Fearow's beak is huge. Like, if that thing comes down at you with the force of fly, it swoops into you, that thing's doing some damage, right? If you think you can block that, you're crazy. This thing's gonna go through your arm with its mouth. That's gonna be deadly. Ekans is just a snake at the end of the day. I could see this being a situation where it's grounded. It has to come into melee range to hit me, right? But it does have poison. Actually, I take that back. It doesn't have to be a both die situation from poison, because, like, I think I could, you know, take out a snake. I do. However, if it glares me beforehand, and I'm paralyzed, and I'm gonna act under the assumption of human rules of I can be paralyzed and poisoned rather than Pokemon rules, I guess, because I want to make this as hard on myself as possible for some reason. But it glares me, I'm paralyzed, and then it just boa constricts me on my neck while I can't fight back temporarily. I actually think Ekans wins pretty handily now that I've thought about it a little bit more. Originally I was just thinking about poison, but no, it has way more utility than that. Arbok, same thing, but I'm not damaging an Arbok in any world, and I'd be scared of it. Pikachu, the fan mascot that I would love to take out, I don't think I would be able to. I actually think Pikachu wins so easily. Thunderbolt in Japanese is called 100,000 volts. Humans can die at as low as like 42 volts, because I just finished Googling this, and you know what? I might be the first human that could die at 41 volts, so I'm pretty sure that Pikachu, with an extended length Thunderbolt, wins easily. And obviously, by that extension, Raichu as well. Sandslash, the only way that I would win is if I got it before it went underground, but this thing can literally cause, like, magnitude and earthquakes. I don't think there's a world where I'm winning against that. I think, to be honest, if I fight a Sandshrew, other people are gonna get taken down with me, to be honest. Same with Sandslash. Sandslash, easy win. Easy win. That thing could fight me melee, to be honest, and it would still win. It doesn't even need to use, like, dig underground, but the underground aspect, scary. Nidoran. I'm gonna tie both Nidorans together. Nidoran, I think it would be hard to lose to, but I do feel like You know what? No, I think it's a tie. I think I could take down a Nidoran. Kind of just like a rat rabbit at the end of the day. I think I could take down a Nidoran. I don't think I could take down a Nidoran before it poisoned me. You may notice this I would win section is not going to be growing any bigger. Nidorina, I think, is a lot less close. Same with Nidorino, and I think Nidoqueen and Nidoking are going to annihilate me. I don't think there's a universe where I win against either of those Pokemon. I don't think I can do enough damage to them before they actually just grapple me into submission. Clefairy, Metronome's Explosion, and I lose. Clefable Moonblasts me, and I lose half my limbs. I don't think, in fact, we're putting you in not close. I think Clefairy would be a much more even fight. Clefairy probably could go into the I would win category, except for the fact that with Metronome being RNG and it taking me over 16,000 encounters to catch my shiny Registeel in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl recently, I am gonna be under the assumption that that thing is Metronome and getting like Fissure or Sheer Cold actually rather than Explosion, because Explosion would put it in both die. I think it's gonna Metronome, Fissure or Sheer Cold and land it. Vulpix I'm gonna put in the same tier as Charmander. I think they're pretty similar in terms of firepower. Vulpix may be a little bit stronger, but I feel like they deserve to be in the same tier. Same kind of idea, except for Vulpix actually has the benefit of being able to land Confuse Ray on me, and then I would be confused, not know where I'm going, and then get my face burnt off by Flamethrower. So I think Vulpix is probably a little bit stronger than Charmander, but that's where it deserves to go. Ninetales I think is just an easy win. Is there a universe where I win against a Ninetales? Probably not, but maybe there's like a 1% chance, so I'll keep it an easy Pokemon win for now. But same thing as Vulpix, but stronger. A Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff actually gets Sing, and I've seen it in the anime. It does some damage. I've also seen it in Smash Bros. You know what? Jigglypuff isn't close. Jigglypuff is not a close fight. Jigglypuff, I've seen it in Smash Bros. Jigglypuff has moves. And by extension, Wigglytuff, I think also probably the same tier, not super close. That thing is an actual sponge. I'm not damaging it. Zubat, I could see a tie with Zubat where it definitely like lands its jaws into me. Jaws is a weird thing. Fangs, I guess, is more accurate. It lands its fangs into me, it poisons me, and then bam, it loses a wing. So I could see this being a tie where I would lose to poison. I almost feel like I should have made a separate tier, just saying poison, but too late for that now. But yeah, I could see that being a both dies type of situation. Golbat, on the other hand, I could see being stronger. I'm going to put it in the same tier as some of the weaker flying types. I don't value Golbat as a super scary Pokemon. However, I do think it would win decently. Oddish, exact same thing as Bulbasaur. Gloom, exact same thing as Ivysaur. Vileplume, exact same thing as Venusaur. I feel like they are kind of almost exact mirror images of each other. I feel like that one's a pretty easy one to slot in. Paris. Paris. I would try so hard to take out a Paris if I saw it. I would try so hard. But I feel like the Pokemon would probably win just because Spore moves are so strong. You know, it gets Spore. That's an 100% accurate sleep move. What am I going to do while I'm asleep? I'm going to get Fury Cutted. That thing's going to build in power. I'm going to be cut apart. I don't think I win. I want to win against the Parasect. I do. I know I don't. I know I don't win against the Parasect, but I want to. I would genuinely try so hard to fight a Parasect. I really would. Venonat. Venonat is actually very large. Venonat is like 3 feet. It gets a lot of Confuse moves, like Confuse Ray, I think. It gets Confusion. It gets Poison Powder. I don't think I'm going to be winning a fight against a Venonat. This tier list is very funny. Venomoth, exact same thing as Butterfree, pretty much the same thing. Slightly less utility, but still, I think it's an easy win for a Venomoth flying around, scattering its poison scales from above. I don't think it'd be close. Diglett. I'm never going to stand a chance against a Diglett. One, I'm never going to be able to fight it. The second the bell rings for this fight to start, it's popping underground, and it's using Magnitude and Earthquake, and to be honest, the nearby cities are going down with me for even attempting to fight this thing. Same thing with Dugtrio, right? We're going to lose some cities if any idiot thinks that they can fight a Diglett. Meowth? While I think Meowth is ultimately just a cat and I could probably win, at the same time, this is a fight. And I am distracted by shiny things. Meowth is going to throw down a Payday. I am going to go and grab the money. And I am going to be honest, Meowth, you know what? In a fight, it could just straight up say, hey, throw the fight, and you're going to get Payday money. And I would probably be the person to throw the fight. Because let's be real, I have nothing in this I would win category. I don't expect to win. So I would probably throw the fight for Payday. Persian, however, would just body me because he's a giant jaguar almost, if I had to think of like a real life equivalent of a Persian, which, yeah, big cat is gonna win. Psyduck. Okay, this is the first one where I'm actually like, I can't believe Psyduck. It's taken me like 50 Pokemon to come up with one where I'm actually like struggling to think of how I would not win. But how would I not win to a Psyduck? Is there a world where I don't win against a Psyduck? Psyduck does have latent psychic powers. If they activate because it gets to low HP and he becomes Super Saiyan Psyduck, I'm going to lose. I also think Psyduck actually does get strong water-type moves like Hydro Pump just in its level up moveset, which would probably destroy me, provided it would actually fight. Because if it doesn't fight, then we're fine. However, the second it fights, we're not okay anymore. So I think it'd be hard to lose, but I'm going to act under the assumption that this Psyduck is trying. You know, it's not completely confused and holding its head with a headache. We're going to assume this is non-headache Psyduck. Normal headache Psyduck goes here. Let's zoom us out a little bit as this gets more filled up and we start making a good chunk of the way through. Golduck, I don't think is close. I think Golduck is winning pretty handily. Mankey, fighting type Pokemon are specialized in fighting. I am not specialized in fighting. I've been in a few fights in my life, but not as many as an angry little Mankey has. I think because of its size, it would be hard to lose, but I do feel like it would low sweep me, use my height against me, and karate chop my neck. Primeape would destroy me on anger alone. I'm not fighting a Primeape. I would run. I would try and run if I was put into a ring with a Primeape, and it would probably catch up to me and destroy me. Growlithe. Probably the same tier as Vulpix. No, it's probably stronger than a Vulpix. I don't think it'd be close. I don't think there's a world where I'm going to be taking down a Growlithe. I think a Growlithe is going to win most times. Has solid bites. Like, can you imagine fighting down a medium-sized, like, lion? No. No, you're not going to fight a medium-sized lion. Arcanine is a big-sized lion, and that's winning. Poliwag. Poliwag is hard to lose to. It's really hard to lose to a Poliwag. However, depending on terrain, like if we're in a situation where this thing has Swift Swim because it's raining, maybe we're fighting by a lake, it can Hypnosis me, right? It lands a Hypnosis. I'm going to get surfed. I'm going to lose to the Poliwag if it can surf a large body of water over me while I am asleep, alright? That's a way to lose, for sure. However, if we're just fighting on land, I think I win. However, because this tier list is for fun, and I'm trying to say how I could lose to every single Pokemon, it's going into this tier. Poliwhirl, same thing as Poliwag, basically, but it can punch me, so I don't think it'd be as close. Poliwrath is going to destroy me, right? That one's pretty self-explanatory. You think I'm going to go fisticuffs with a Poliwrath? Heck no. Abra? Abra's a tie. I'm not able to hit it, right? That one's pretty self-explanatory. I can't hit an Abra, it's going to teleport away. Also, it's like always asleep, so it's there. It doesn't need to like rest and there's a time for me to catch up or anything. It's just going to be sleeping and teleporting around. I think it's a tie. I think it's a stalemate like the Metapod situation where neither of us really wins. There's a world where I do win. I feel like it's pretty much just who gets tired first. And I don't know if that's me or the Abra, so it's going in tie. Kadabra is an easy win. Alakazam, if anyone, let me make this clear, if anyone in their right mind thinks that they can fight an Alakazam, you are wrong. You are straight up wrong. No one is fighting an Alakazam. That is the easiest, that's probably the strongest Pokemon in this tier list, actually. It's probably scarier than the earthquake-causing Dugtrios of the world. Machamp is actually just pure muscle. It is not close. That thing is going to punch straight through me. Machoke, same thing. Easily a win for a Machoke. Machamp, again, I don't think there's any world where any human is fighting a Machamp. I feel like that is a very easy to place Pokemon. If anyone in the comments thinks they can fight a Machamp, please explain how. Bellsprout. It would be tough to lose to a Bellsprout. It does have poison, so again, it kind of fits into the... Like, I wish I made a poison tier, but again, I didn't. Maybe if we do a Gen 2 one, I'll do a poison tier, because a lot of these fall into, like, they have access to the move Poison Powder, and I could see poison just being a way to have both of us. So I feel like we both died to poison. Weepinbell. Weepinbell is winning. Weepinbell is winning. Weepinbell is a really goofy looking Pokemon, and if you try and punch it, it's just gonna like suck your hand, right? You're gonna get poisoned. It's gonna like Mega Drain you. It's gonna drain you. This thing is gonna drain you. Victreebel, there's no way I'm winning against a Victreebel. Look at that thing, it's evil. Alright, we're like halfway through. This is probably gonna be like an hour-long special. Alright, Tentacool. Tentacool, again, poison, right? It's not guaranteed poison. It isn't guaranteed poison, but it does have other things in its arsenal. Like, I think it gets Supersonic, got Acid. Actually, it's got Acid. Acid will burn straight through you. It's also got the ability to, like, wrap. It gets a wrap around your neck. That's gonna suck. I think Tentacool can win a fight against a human, and can win a fight against me, more specifically. Tentacruel, I think Tentacruel, it is not close. I think Tentacruel is going to use those tentacles. Nothing more to be said about that one. Geodude, I don't think it's close. I don't think anyone is going to be damaging their way through a Geodude unless you have brought a mining pick to the battle with prep time. I think that changes the fight a little bit if we allow prep time, but again, I'm going into this just with my hands trying to fight a Pokemon that has the power of the elements at its side. Plus, it's just gonna like pick up a rock and throw it straight into my skull. Graveler, same thing. It's Graveler's winning easily. Golem, Graveler and Golem, I don't stand any chance in any universe of ever doing anything to a Graveler or a Golem. Golem can straight up just, like, eat the ground right beneath me to replenish itself or something. This thing is, like, an actual, just a movable object. There is no way I am taking down a Golem. This thing is one of the strongest Pokemon on this tier list, like Alakazam, honestly. Ponyta. Can I fight a pony imbued with fire? No. No. It is small. I think there's a lot of universes where I do win. Say it goes for Fire Blast and misses. Sure, but at the end of the day, it's a fire-imbued pony. You're probably not winning, right? I'm probably not winning. Rapidash, it's not close. It's not close. It's not quite as scary. In fact, it is a scary Arcanine. It is. Slowpoke. Again, with some of the other water types that have been on this list, kind of repeating myself with some of these, I know, but it is hard to lose to a Slowpoke if it's not near water. If it's swimming around near the water at the beach, surf makes things scary. But ultimately, Slowpoke, it's a decently tanky Pokemon, alright? Even if you land a punch, you don't immediately win the fight, right? It's got good defense, it's got good HP. Sure, you've landed a punch. Then it uses Psychic, and it picks you up with Psychic, and it throws you into the air, and then you die to gravity, right? I've played enough Souls-likes. I know how strong gravity is. I'm not going to win against a Pokemon that can use gravity. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. Same with Slowbro. Same thing. Psychic, except even tankier, you know? It's going to use Psychic. It's going to throw me into the air. I'm going to lose to gravity. Magnemite. easy win. It controls electricity, it's gonna Thunderbolt me, again, 100,000 volts, and it's made of steel. Like, am I gonna get through that? No, not unless I bring some extra magnets in my pocket for the prep time of the fight and chuck them at a nearby wall so it goes whoop over to it with its magnets. That's the only way that that would go well. Same with Magneton. You know, it's an easy Pokemon win. To be honest, maybe it could go into the tier above, like Pikachu and Raichu, but I kind of put them there first with the 100,000 volts thing, and I'm gonna keep those ones there as the electric types that are in that tier, I guess. Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is interesting because it is a flying type that doesn't fly, which actually gives me a massive advantage against it. Like, I can fight a Farfetch'd. It would be a brawl. However, Farfetch'd is trained in the way of the leak. What does that mean? I don't know, but it scares me. I think it could probably mess me up with that leak. It goes for slash with the leak. It whips out like some kind of hidden katana technique. Bam, sliced in half. Scary. Do I think I could win against a Doduo? Maybe. Maybe. Again, this is one of those ones where if I was taking this tier list incredibly seriously, I would probably put this down in this tier. However, this is not a serious tier list, so I'm going to try and explain a way that I lose to a Doduo. Okay, this was a challenge. I actually had to do some research into Doduo to figure out a way that I would lose. I know, I'm really trying to make this tough on myself, but Doduo in Gen 1 did not have to evolve into Dodrio to get Tri-Attack. If this Doduo, I hate the fact that it is this way, but if Doduo learns Tri-Attack, it can get a freeze on me, or a paralysis. And am I going to be able to fight a Doduo while I'm frozen solid? No, of course I'm not. So Doduo can win. Again, that one was tough. That one was tough. But like I said, an alternate name for this is how I would lose to every Pokemon. If there is a way, I'm going to find it. Dodrio, probably not close. Dodrio, I think, actually just probably has the strength to, like, peck someone's brains out. Seal is a precious, precious boy. However, it can just Ice Beam. So I don't think it's close. I think Seal is a pretty tanky Pokemon. I feel like if you punch a Seal, I mean, it's called Seal. It's like a real-life Seal. Punch a Seal, you're probably going to hurt it a little bit, but you're not going to be doing any, like, killing blows. Whereas if this thing hits you with an Aurora Beam, that's probably going to be a killing blow. Dugong, same kind of thing, but not close. I feel like Dugong's a pretty easy Pokemon win. It gets to be a tier higher because it's evolved. Grimer, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how you take out a Grimer. I don't know how you win. Are you going to punch Sewage? Is that going to damage it? Are you going to punch Sewage? I don't think you're going to be taking out a Grimer before it poisons you, and to be honest, the idea of fighting it is gross. I'd probably try and forfeit the fight in any way possible. Same with Muck. I don't think it's close. I think it's going to poison me. It's going to poison jab me, unless I forfeit the fight. And I'd forfeit the fight immediately against one of them. Shelder. Shelder would be tough to damage, first of all, which makes me immediately think it's in a surprisingly higher tier, despite its really goofy appearance with its tongue out. However, Icicle Spear is ranged. So it has a ranged option to take you out. It can Icicle Spear you down from a distance. Those are going to do a lot of damage to you. They're going to, like, tear through your skin. I could see a Shelder winning a fight pretty handily. And Cloyster, just even stronger. Even stronger. To be honest, the most believable way that I take out a Cloyster is actually it Shell Smashing and it weakening its defenses free punch it. But even then, its defense is like 180. I'm not touching that thing. Right? I don't have any special attacks to it on the special side. I can't just whip out some Mind Wumbo Jumbo to try and take it out. There's no way. Gastly, I am a normal type. I am a normal type human. I have, at best, Pound and Mega Punch. I can't hit him. Oh, wait, I have Bite. Hold on, I can Bite. Okay, it's an easy win, but there is a universe where I can Bite a Gastly. Yep. Same with Haunter. There's a universe where I bite it, right? Right? Surely. Gengar is probably not a universe where I can bite it, okay? It would be in my shadow constantly, telling me mean things, and that would hurt my feelings, and I'm not winning a fight against a Shadow Balling Gengar, let's be real. Okay, I'm kidding. Gastly, maybe I live through a Shadow Ball, right? And I get a chance to bite it. The Pokemon's winning. Onix, this is pretty self-explanatory, right? I feel like everyone can agree with that. If you think you can fight an Onix, please, again, leave a comment telling me how. I would love to know. I would actually be very interested. But Onix, yeah, pretty clearly in the no universe team. Drowsy. Drowsy, I think, wins because just like Hypno, it's not close. You're hypnotized. You're going to do what he says. If the Hypno says, hey, walk out of the ring and go play jumping jacks on the side of that cliff, you're gonna do it, right? Because you're hypnotized. Again, it also learns Psychic. It can just Psychic you up into the air, and you're in the air, and you've got gravity to worry about. I don't think anyone's winning against a Hypno or a Drowsy. Krabby. I'll be honest, those claws are powerful. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory that the claws are gonna do a lot of damage. I feel like there is definitely an argument to be made where you could just say, just kick the crab. But then there is the option of Krabby can probably just grab your foot. Alright, that is a smart Pokemon. It knows what it's doing. It isn't like a normal crab that's just scuttling around like in our universe. This is a Krabby that has attentive eyes, is aware of its surroundings, has both of its claws ready to go at any time. It's not like normal crabs, it's just like one super big claw like Kingler down here. So it's probably able to just cut your foot, right? It's just gonna vice grip off your foot, just chomp. Looks like it's guillotine to one-shot you as well. So I don't think it's close against Kingler, because exactly that, guillotine. Voltorb Explosion, we both die. Electrode Explosion, we both die. Save some time. Execute. Again, it's... If I can land a blow, I can crush an egg, okay? Like, I'm trying to make myself look as weak as possible in this because I do think it's funny. I don't think I'm that weak that I can't crush an egg. Let me clarify that one before anyone says that. However, it does have psychic powers. Am I going to get close enough to crush an egg? I don't think so. I think, once again, this is kind of the psychic thing. I think I'm not going to get a world where I can get close enough. But let's say there is a world where it psychics me, I go flying into a nearby tree, it thinks it's won the fight, I get up, you know, clawing my way up, and I can get close to it. Yeah, I can crush the eggs. But I think the Pokemon can ultimately win if it plays it smart. Exeggutor is a tree. I think it's a pretty easy win for an Exeggutor. Have I knocked down a tree before? Yes. But again, this is a psychic tree. It's going to have powers. It's going to have Leaf Storm. It has an alternate form, which for some reason is a dragon type. So maybe it has latent powers of Dragon Tree. I think it can learn Dragon Pulse, despite not being the Alolan form. I could be wrong on that, though. I actually don't know much about Exeggutor, let's be real. But yeah, Egg Bomb for range, Solar Beam, if it's a sunny day, Chlorophyll, Solar Beam. Yeah, I'm not winning. Cubone is going to smack me over the head with a giant bone club, and I'm going to lose, but I do think there is, you know, a solid body shot you could have against a Cubone that would do a lot of damage to it. So I feel like it'd be a closer fight. But ultimately it has a weapon, you know, that gives it a big advantage. Marowak, same thing, but slightly stronger. I probably don't win against a Marowak. It's got a lot more defense. Yep, I feel like that one's pretty clear. Hitmonlee. It's between these two tiers. I'm gonna say easy Pokemon win rather than no universe, because unlike Machamp, which I think is pure muscle, Hitmonlee is more technique-based, and it's also just legs, right? If you can grab a Hitmonlee's leg, maybe you can throw it off a cliff. That's the best I've got. That's the only way I can think you could win against a Hitmonlee. I don't think I actually win in any universe, but I want to split the tiers up a bit. Hitmonchan, same kind of thing. Do I think I can win? No, absolutely not. Do I think there's a universe where I can win? I don't know enough to decide. Probably not. There's probably no universe, but I'm going to put it there anyway so that they're together. Lickitung. How long is Lickitung's tongue? 7 feet. Okay, alright. Lickitung outranges me with its tongue. It uses Lick. I get paralyzed. It uses its tongue like a Vine Whipping Bulbasaur and chucks me off of a cliff, right? I just don't think it's close. I don't think I'm going to be fighting a Lickitung and having a good time. Just depending on your perspective of a good time, I guess. Anyway. Koffing is another Pokemon that I'm going to put in the both die category, because when I see Koffing and Wheezing, I think of Explosion, and I think they would explode. Even if it comes down to a poison thing. Do I think Wheezing could win a fight against me? Yes, but also it's kind of funny to imagine them exploding. Rhyhorn, no chance. Absolutely no chance. Easy Pokemon win, and Rhyhorn is the actual giant rock dinosaur that will annihilate me, cause earthquakes with its walking. I am not damaging a Rhyhorn. I am not damaging a Rhydon. Is there a world where I can win against a Rhyhorn? Probably not, but it's more likely than against a Rhydon, so I'm moving it down a tier. Chansey. If I could win against a Chansey, I would gain so much XP. I really would. I would gain so much XP. Man, I wonder what moves I would learn if I leveled up. I'm getting distracted. Chansey. Do I think I'm winning against a Chansey? Maybe. Its attack is very low. It's low physical defense as well, but am I going to hit it 200 plus times to get through its massive HP pool? Probably not. Not before it egg bombs me, you know? Also, it can just heal infinitely. This might be a tie. It might just soft boil. I could see this being a tie. Like, I would exhaust myself on it. I would probably get tired before it lost. Plus, Chansey can learn Defense Curl. Defense Curl soft-boiled? Yeah, okay, yeah. Best case scenario is tie. I think probably it wins, but best case scenario is a tie against that. Tangela is exactly where I put Bulbasaur. Yep, I feel like we're going to put that in the same tier as Bulbasaur and act under the assumption it will do the same things. Kangaskhan is going to actually annihilate me, because if I come up to it looking threatening with its baby in its pouch, it's going to get its mother's instinct, and it's going to Dizzy Punch my brain. And yeah, I feel like Kangaskhan is going to win pretty handily. Horsey. Again, if I could get close, I think I could do a lot of damage to a Horsey. It is a seahorse at the end of the day. I feel like you can just sort of grab, right? But at the same time, you're not going to get close to a Horsey. Right? I'm assuming that this Horsey fight is going to take place in a situation where it can at least move around somewhat freely, whether we're at, like, a pond side or something. Like, I have to imagine the water types have something going for them, and I'm not just, like, fighting them in my room with no water. That'd be a little bit silly. Even if I did, Scald, Double Beam, stuff like that would do a lot of damage. But I'm going to act under the assumption that this is near water, and it's fine. Same with Seadra, to be honest. Same thing. Goldeen. This is, in fact, a goldfish. I think I could win against a goldfish. However, I'm making this silly. And I'm going to say it's going to Horn Attack me and Impale me. It gets Horn Drill, which can one-shot me. It can win. It's going to win. Same with Seeking, but I actually think Seeking could win, legitimately. Goldeen, I think there's an argument where it's tough to put it in the higher tiers than I would win, but Seeking, I think, could actually win. Staryu, I actually feel like is a very strong Pokemon, provided it has water nearby. I don't think you could catch it in the water. Again, Psychic Powers. All of that stuff. Starmie, same thing. Psychic Powers. In fact, Starmie, pretty easy. Psychic Powers. I think Starmie deserves to be a tier higher. Mr. Mime. He's going to put me in a box. That's simple. I'm getting put in a box. I don't want to put in the box to a Mr. Mime, but, like, what am I going to do? Think I'm going to break out of the box by hitting it? No, he's going to set up reflex all around me, and I'm going to be trapped in a box and look like a fool. He's going to actually make a clown of me. Man, oh, that sucks. Anyway, Cypher, yeah, okay, alright, let's be real. That one doesn't need explaining. Jinx. Jinx is going to lovely kiss me to sleep, or kiss me to sleep me, or freeze me solid. I don't think it's particularly close. I don't think it's quite as scary as a Cypher, but I don't think there's many universes where you can take down a Jinx. It just has a lot more utility than a default human using, you know, punch. I don't know. No, it is weak to bite if you can bite it. If it starts giving you a lovely kiss and you bite back, maybe you win, but that's a whole different type of fight. Oh, this is what happens when I record for too long. Okay, Electabuzz. Electabuzz, I think, deserves to go in the same tier as Pikachu and Raichu. I feel like it would have enough electrical power behind it with the 100,000 volts. I don't think there's any universe where you're going to be taking out an Electabuzz. Magmar? Where's the highest fire type we have right now? Alongside Arcanine? Yeah, I feel like that fits. Again, we're getting to the end of this tier list. I've said a lot of the things that I need to say. Fire type goes with other fire type for the same reasoning as what I've said before. Pinsir is guillotining me. It is an easy win. Thing is a fighter. It gets submission and other moves like that. I can't fight that, let's be real. He's gonna actually just impale me. Tauros, again, a lot of these Safari Zone Pokemon are in the Safari Zone for a reason, because there are wild beasts that can do a lot of damage to humans. I don't think I can take down a bull. Crazy, I know. Magikarp. Here it is. Here it is. This is what everyone's been waiting for. How am I going to lose to a Magikarp? Alright, hear me out. So there's this game called Magikarp Jump, which I played a lot. And those Magikarps, they could jump real high, right? They were jumping over mountains, alright? There are legends of Magikarps that could jump mountains and come down and be fine, which is why they learned the move Bounce. If I get hit by a Bounce from a Magikarp that has jumped over a mountain, and this thing comes down like a comet, this thing is going into the highest possible tier. Serious face. This thing is an incredibly strong Pokemon. But in reality, yeah, that'd be the only way that it would win, in which case it'd be incredibly hard to lose to a Magikarp. I do think it'd be really, really funny if someone did. And I would love to be the first, so I would let it bounce multiple times to see if it could get enough height to actually take me out, because it'd be really funny to be the first person that died to a Magikarp. Gyarados, on the other hand, yeah, there's no way. That one actually deserves to be the top of the tier list. Lapras, again, I don't think there's any universe where you are taking out a Lapras. I'm pretty sure Lapras is going in the no universe. Ditto. This one's also interesting, because do I think I could win against myself? Yes. It would come down to, who do I think has more HP? A random Ditto or me? I was in hospital for a long time last year. Ditto might have more HP, but I feel like Ty is also very appropriate, considering I would essentially be fighting myself. Unless we're taking this in a situation where Ditto is surrounded by other Pokemon, and it can transform into the Lapras that just fought behind it, because it was like just leaving the arena, you know, leaving me frozen as a popsicle. I'm ready to get into my next fight. Ditto sees the Lapras, transforms into the Lapras, and I get annihilated. But yeah. We'll assume it's just me and the Ditto, and it would be a tie. Eevee. Eevee. First of all, Eevee is too cute, and I wouldn't want to fight it because I love Eevee. That's why I have the Eeveelution poster behind me on my wall. And I love all the Eeveelutions, but let's say I'm actually fighting it and I'm trying. How is Eevee going to win? First of all, I get Sand Attack, so it can pocket sand my eyes and drop my accuracy. Alright, I'm stumbling around with sand in my eyes. That's miserable. And it gets moves, actually it gets strong moves like Double Edge. Actually, yeah, okay. Hard to lose, but I could definitely see a world where an Eevee gets sand in my eyes and wins the fight. For sure. Vaporeon, I feel like wins pretty handily. You punch a Vaporeon, it acid armors, you do nothing. I don't have a joke for Vaporeon copy pasta, it's fine. Jolteon, same thing as the Electabuzz. That thing is going to zap me with a Thunderbolt, it is called 100,000 volts, I am going to die. Flareon, same thing as Arcanine and Rapidash. Actually, no, a tier lower. Flareon kind of sucks. Let's be real. Alright, its special attack is kind of garbage. Got good special defense, but that doesn't matter. If it has Flare Blitz, yeah, I'm getting torn apart by a Flare Blitz, but definitely weaker. Porygon. Omanite. Okay, back to Porygon. Porygon, again, it can fly, it can Psybeam. Gross. Rock Fossil. Has moves like Hydro Pump, has a shell that it can retract into, so I can't do any damage to it because I probably couldn't punch through its shell. Also has moves like Ancient Power, so it can throw giant rocks at me from a distance. I don't think I'm going to be winning against an Omanite. It is very small. If I can get close to it, maybe I can rip it out of its shell. But ultimately, I think Ancient Power means that it wins. Omastar is just going to be the same thing, but stronger. Kabuto. Kabuto is going to latch onto my head and pierce it like a head crab. That's what it does. No one is going to convince me otherwise. Kabutops, where's Cypher? Old Cypher. Yep, same tier. Aerodactyl. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way anyone thinks they can fight a pterodactyl, right? Okay, that one's pretty clear. No universe. Snorlax, no universe. Even if it was asleep when we started the fight, it would randomly fall over and it would crush me and I would lose. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. There's no one winning a fight against a Snorlax. Articuno, no universe. You're getting frozen solid, is a creature of ice. Zapdos, no universe. These ones are very self-explanatory, right? The legendary birds being here is very self-explanatory. I would love to win against a Moltres to try it though, because I do love eating chicken, and I would like that. Okay, Dratini is way more terrifying than I initially thought, because I was just on the wiki page for it out of curiosity. Dratini can be as big as 6 feet. 6 feet, which is huge. It gets access to Thunder Wave to paralyze you. It does, at the end of the day, have dragon moves like Twister and Outrage and Dragon Tail if you get into close combat with it. I think Dratini actually wins pretty solidly. I have never thought that Dratini was a particularly strong Pokemon until I actually looked at it and realized that they could be as big as 6 feet. Because a 6-foot draconic snake coming at you is actually terrifying. Is actually terrifying. I think there's universes where I can win, but I don't think it'd be close in the average fight. Dragonair, however, I think is going to win handily, and Dragonite, there's no way, right? That thing could just pick you up, carry you into the sky, while you're trying to wail on it and beat on its chest, and then it just drops you, and you're done. Mewtwo, again, incredibly self-explanatory, a lot like Alakazam, one of the strongest possible Pokemon that can be on this tier list. No one is going to be fighting a Mewtwo, that is very simple. And then Mew, who, while being very cute, and to be honest, you can also transform, so we could put it in the same tier as Ditto. I actually think, again, it's a legendary for a reason. It is a very strong Pokemon. Maybe there's a universe, but I'm gonna say there probably isn't. There probably isn't a universe, and that is going to be our tier list. You may notice I put nothing in here, which was my plan. I was trying to think of a way that I could make it so I could say that I would lose to every single Pokemon, and I'm kind of proud of myself for doing it. I don't think I win against any Pokemon without it at least being a tie, which is really funny. But that is going to be the tier list. Again, if you have enjoyed, please go ahead and comment so I know whether to do a follow-up series for Gen 2, because tier lists, they're fun. Very long episode, a little bit under an hour of recording on this. I don't know how long it will be in editing, but a very, very long recording for this. It was a lot of fun, and I hope everyone did enjoy it. Might even be going up on Christmas, in which case, Merry Christmas. If it is a day or two late, I apologize. It missed the plan. But if you guys have enjoyed, leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, bye.